Hello everybody. Greetings. I'm so glad that you're coming on to join us today here on the Tammy Talks Show. I just want to say hello to all my listening audience. I'm going to wait till some more people come on, some more people tune in to the show because we have an exciting show on tonight. I have my special guest here that's really going to share some information with us, and I'm so excited to have her here. I'm not going to introduce her yet. I'm just going to wait till some more people come on, and then I will introduce her. I thank her again. I just appreciate her coming on to share with us on tonight. I see some people coming on. Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on tonight. I'm going to start by saying that our topic tonight is getting to know your government. Getting to know your government. Just wait a few more minutes. I see people logging on. Good. We want enough of you all to be on to hear, because I have a wonderful guest here tonight. Yes, my special guest is a former Michigan state representative. Her name is Alberta Tinsley Talabi. She's here on today to share with us some information that we need to know. I'm going to say it again, that we need to know. I'm so excited to have her here tonight to share in the conversation. Each time we come in, I would like to come on and have a special guest come on and share some information with us, and we can get involved in what's going on in our community, in our state, and in our country. So tonight I want to start by asking you, Ms. Talabi, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to run for office?
Well, first of all, Reverend, I want to thank you for having me this evening, and to all of your listeners, of whom I hope include some of my friends that I text the information to. I hope that they are tuning in. And just first of all, say how grateful I am to see this day. And considering what we've all been going through, we probably all feel the same way.
Yeah.
We've gone through a lot. But in terms of just how I have arrived to where I am today, it was really began when I was 14 years old, and my teacher went around the room and asked everyone, what are you going to do when you grow up? How many of us have been asked that question? What are you going to do when you grow up? Well, when she asked me, after hearing I'm going to play baseball for mother kids, and I'm going to be a teacher, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be a nurse, I said, well, I'm going to grow up and serve my community. Well, this brought about great laughter from my classmates, because they, what do you mean you want to serve your community? And I said, I'm going to be in office one day. I tell everyone, be careful what you put in the universe, because it can and will come true. And so the seeds you plant, make them good seeds. So I said that when I was 14. I knew it would help me to graduate from high school. I did. I knew it would help me to go on to college and graduate. I did. And then just to be of service in my community. And so when I was very young, a teenager, I used to go to the police community relation meetings. I went to various block club meetings. My mother and the women in our neighborhood had an advocacy group called are you ready for this? The Jolly Sewing Club. And this was comprised of women in the neighborhood who were, no, I take that back. I don't think anyone worked. The husbands worked, and the wives took care of the family. And so their little club would meet once a month, fried chicken, eat homemade rolls, and talk about what can we do to make the community safer for our children. And so I saw that, didn't realize how important it was at the time. But boy, do I realize how much that's missed in our communities today.
Yes, it is.
And so I went to Eastern Michigan University, and I was very pleased with that choice. It worked out well for me. And then when I finished there, I had to commute my last 2 years, okay? And the
Mm-hmm.
reason I had to commute was primarily because it was expensive living on campus. My
Mm-hmm.
father had a gas station. He pumped gas for a living. Um, and it was just something I didn't want to be up there any longer. And I also had gotten a job actually working for the city of Detroit as a rape counselor. And I
Mm-hmm.
was in training and I was the first person hired over there. So
Wow.
that's how I kind of got started. And so I was an advocate for women who had been victims of sexual abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I was an advocate for their families. I was an advocate going to court with them and really kind of honing in on those skills to, first of all, listen, to
Yeah.
have a good understanding how important listening is. And
Mm-hmm.
then problem solving, trying to help those women and actually some men to
Mm-hmm.
go beyond where they were into a safer place. And
Wow.
so, I did a number of jobs over the period of time. And then I realized, hey, what about that dream you had to run for office? And
Mm-hmm.
I said, time to rekindle that dream. So the year was 1984. You probably weren't even born, were you?
Yes, I was
You
born.
were? Oh, okay. 19,
Well, yes.
okay. 1984 was the first year I ran for office, and I ran for Wayne County Commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran in 84, came in second. I ran in 86, came in second. And some of my friends were saying, Alberta, don't you see this isn't for you? Um, your dad wasn't in politics, your mom wasn't, no one in your family. What makes you think you can do this? And I had to say, look, this is my dream. You didn't give it to me. God gave it to me, and I'm going to do it.
Right.
And so I ran a third time because it was a special election in 1987.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, the gentleman was appointed to a judgeship. His name was Freddie Burton. He had been a judge for a while, but he was elevated to a higher position. And that came open. The seat came open. I ran, and lo and behold, 12 other folks ran too. But people saw my persistence. They saw my determination.
Yeah.
And by that time, I had made somewhat of a name for myself. And thanks be to God, we came in first. And I'd like to think we changed the trajectory of politics for people at that time, for
Mm-hmm.
folks who maybe felt that because their father or didn't have a relative in politics, that look, you can do this. And so upon running, I immediately been in my community all my life, and I started seeing things that I knew I wanted to change. And so I started a campaign of
Mm-hmm.
all things against top rolling papers. And those were things that people used to smoke, well, at the time, marijuana with, and it was illegal back in 1987.
Uh-huh.
And they had billboards up, and I attacked those billboards, and thanks be to God, they put every single top rolling paper down. But
Wow.
now you look at where we are today, and America says it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make decisions. So people have to make decisions on their own, and um, not only for medicinal use, but for recreational use. And there's a whole lot that goes behind that. We know too many of our men are locked up in prison. And
Yes.
in fact, anyone who had any kind of a drug charge related to marijuana should be let go today. No
Yeah.
one should be in prison for that right now.
That's
But
right.
we know that there's a pipeline for our community and
Yeah.
men in particular and women to find themselves in that situation. So fast forward, I just knew that all the time elected officials were in a position to make a difference. That's
Right.
how I felt in my heart. I know these people could make a difference. And
Yes.
so that's what I attempted to show,
Yes.
that if you're in office, you can do things to make life better for your
Right.
community. And we're running for a commissioner, and there are commissioners all over America. There are 15 commissioners. You run from a district. It was good for me because who knows? I live in this neighborhood. And speaking of
Yes.
living in this neighborhood, I still live in the house I was born in. And
Wow.
we're talking some 66 years ago. My birthday was last Friday, August 14th. And
Oh,
I'm so grateful that I can be here today and share with you that, yes, elected officials can make a difference, but they
right.
have to have the heart for the people. And they must be willing to
Right.
sacrifice, and they must be willing to work hard. It's not an easy thing to do, to be in office, because you are in the public eye and you're under constant scrutiny,
Yeah.
constant scrutiny. So
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's been a really good life. It's been I know we've had an impact in a
Mm-hmm.
number of areas. One thing, if you're going to think about running for office, the first thing is to show up. Don't
Yeah,
get elected and then sit at home or sit at the bar.
that's
You
right.
know,
That's
you're
right.
expected to show up and be where you can be of help to your constituents. So
Right.
that was my political background. I come from a family of, actually, there were 8 of us. There were 3 boys and 5 girls.
Okay.
3 are deceased, have gone on. And of course, my mother and parents. So, Tammy, you know what that means? That means that in this house that I'm sitting in, and this chair, and you see the
Uh-huh.
pictures behind me, at one time there were 10 of us in this house.
Wow.
And today there's only me, and yet I don't have enough closet space to add one more thing. And that's awful.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awful. But I'm going to change all of that because I'm like, you know what? Less is more. And
Yeah.
so I want to live a life of less and not more.
All
So
right. All right. Well, I want to start off by saying to you, happy belated birthday.
thank you.
And we are two people that was born in August. Mine was August 11th. So
Oh,
that's a kindred spirit right there. We
yeah.
born in the same month. So I just want to thank you again for coming on and the things that you shared with us just then. What I took from it too, that we need to get involved in our community. When we see something wrong, get involved. And if you want to be into politics, you got to get into the community and see what's going on, see what's happening in your neighborhood. And if it's something you can do to help, get out there and help and make things happen, because our community are the community that's really being affected in the United States more than any other racial in this country. So even with those things, I know you just shared with me that you have been in your community in the same house ever since. Oh, this is a question I want to ask you. What made you want to stay in the same house and the same community even after you had became a elected official? You said, I'm going to stay right here.
Sure. Well, let me just say that when I went away to college and came back home in 1976,
Mm-hmm.
I was pleased to be back home. I mean, as I told you, I commuted my last 2 years, but I mean, my permanent stay in terms of not even commuting, I'm here at home, not going to school. I love my community. I love the people who are in it. I love the fact that when I walk up these stairs, these are the stairs that my mother first walked me up. I love the fact that
Yeah.
my siblings, the majority of us were born right here and they
Mm-hmm.
came home to this house. You know, things have changed so much, Pastor. Do you know at one time there were, I believe, 40 different addresses on my block,
Wow.
40 different addresses, 40 different homes, and an
Yes.
apartment building with about 24 residents in it.
Mm-hmm.
Today, there are only 7 houses
Wow.
here on Pennsylvania. Now,
Wow.
I know what happened to every last one of those houses. I know the people who lived in those houses. I
Mm-hmm.
know what happened in terms of the planting of drugs in our community and, you know, the,
Right. Mm-hmm.
the total demise of a community and the pain that I watched as alcohol and other drugs took root in my community. And I am here to tell you that, what do they say? Everything, what the devil meant for evil, God can turn to good.
Yes,
And
he will.
because our community today is whole again,
Mm-hmm.
even though we have only 7 homes left,
Mm-hmm.
the people who remain are committed. They have a mindset for making what we have the best that we can. And
Yes.
things change, and we're going to get on with the politics. But let me just tell you about housing and the fact that in the city of Detroit, about 5 years ago, you could purchase property for $500. You
Uh-huh.
could purchase a home for $1,000,
Wow.
$2,000.
Uh-huh.
And that same home today, if it's in this area,
Mm-hmm.
going for
Wow.
150,000 plus.
Wow.
It's amazing, but we know that in America, the greatest way to wealth is through real estate.
Yes, it
And
is.
we watch as things this isn't anything new. It's always been that way. When I was a little girl, I used to say, if I had 25 what did I say? I tried to figure out how you could be a millionaire. And I said, gee, I think it was like if you had 50 properties and each one was valued at $25,000, on paper, that's a millionaire.
Yeah.
That may not be exactly the math I use, but you get my picture.
Yes, I do.
And today, if you have just 10 properties in this community, and if you can sell them for $100,000 each,
Wow.
which is happening every day around here,
Yes, it is.
then on paper you're a millionaire. But it's not just about having finances to do for your family and yourself. You want to be able to create a better community. You want to be able to have a community in which you can be proud of.
Yeah.
And things are changing rapidly, Tammy, not only in Detroit, but all over America.
Yes,
We're watching people who formerly would not even step in our community, suddenly driving up and down every street, asking, is your home for sale? Getting things in the mail. We'll buy your property today. This may seem off track from what I came to talk about, but it's all a part of politics.
Yes, it is.
It's all about the political structure and how did this happen? Why did it happen? And how are we going to maintain some semblance of wealth for our kids?
That's right.
What do we have to turn over to them? What? And at the end, I know you're going to ask me what additional things would I like to say, but I have to inject this right now.
Okay.
Folks need an insurance policy.
Yes.
We all should have an insurance policy. Something that we can leave our loved ones with.
Right.
And something that if you add up what we spend on some other things once a month,
right,
you pay for that policy 3 times.
That's right.
So it's just critical. It's just critical. We have to think about these things and talk about these things with our children and understand that nothing just happens. You make it happen.
You got to make it happen.
Yep.
That is so true. I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm sure my audience is enjoying it. I have another question for you. When it comes to the government, a lot of people just don't understand it. Can you share with us what we need to know concerning the government? Because
first of all,
no.
I believe, Pastor, that everyone, if you have the time, volunteer to work on the campaign of someone whom you believe in. If there's a candidate out there running, I don't care what they're running for, council, a treasurer, or if they're running for governor or state rep. Is there someone that you feel comfortable with in terms of volunteering and lending your support and helping with a few dollars? Because we know for a fact in our community, leadership is declining.
Yes,
it's declining.
It's so true.
And I'm sure it's happening all over the country.
Yeah.
And we need to recognize that if we want to see folks in office who look like us, then we've got to do what everyone else does, and that is vote. So I think people, if you're involved in a campaign, you learn some of the intricacies involved through making phone calls to constituents, through knocking on their doors, through mailing, and you find out the issues that your candidate has a passion for. And do you share those particular issues? And if there's something that you want to see done, will your candidate adapt that to their platform? Okay. But at the end of the day, these folks are in a position to make a difference. And all of us know that we must recognize if we're going to continue to be the best that we can be, we need good leadership. We need good leadership. And, Pastor, right now, I'm not in office. But one thing I've always told people is that it doesn't take a title to serve. It does not take a title to serve.
That's right.
And therefore, I am as engaged now
Mm-hmm.
as I've ever been in my entire life. The only thing is I don't have anybody with a handling me or telling me what time to report to the table or any of that. My time is mine, uh, and I'm able to serve where I feel there is a need.
Wow.
And the need in our community is so incredibly
Mm.
great. And I know that many of our friends have left Detroit and many of our other cities across the country
Mm-hmm.
and moved for suburban life. And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay, but don't forget that your city that you came from still needs you.
That's right.
And you can help in so many ways, so many ways. Um, Volunteering at a school, sending materials that you know they may have need of,
Yeah.
um, helping at the places where people are in treatment for substance abuse
Mm-hmm.
and misuse of alcohol. Uh, there's so many ways that we can still work to make our city better. And
Right.
people, whoever said it, people really do need people.
Mm-hmm.
We need one another.
That's
And
true.
there is nothing we can do to
Mm.
hide. We have to be involved. We have to be willing to bring forth our best
Mm-hmm.
to help the place that made it all possible for
Right.
everyone who may not no longer live here but can still contribute to the
True.
growth of our city.
I like it when you were saying that we can get involved with the people that are running for office in our community and find out what they are representing and see is it some of the things that we like and we want to push them. A lot of times I have seen from being in the South, I have seen that if someone of our neighborhood is running for office, most of the time we try to bring up things that maybe they have done and all this. But I'm thinking that if you're looking at your community and you're looking at the need of your community, and those people are implementing things that they know can help your community, we need to get behind them and to push them to save our community, because even here I have noticed how the crime has gone up so bad in different neighborhoods around here. Every other day there's a murder. Every other day there's a young person that lost his life. And it seems like it's more targeted to the young men. And I have a love for the young men being great in the community, basically because I have three young sons myself and a daughter, but I want to see them be productive in the community, see them live to get my age or older, but there's some things that are targeting them. So we need to get involved more in our community to make sure the politics don't take our children's lives and we stand by and watch it happen. And we have to get involved and see that the drugs don't keep continually coming to our communities, and not the other people community, but in ours, to destroy our children. So I wanted to get some people on to talk about this, and I'm so glad you came on and you really is sharing with us how we can do it, where we can start at, because some people don't know where to start. So you gave us an idea where to start. Start in your local community. See the ones that are coming up for election and they believe in the things that you believe in. Go on and push them. I thank you so much for answering
And
that question for us.
and Pastor, if you have a skill, you
Mm-hmm.
know, people are hungry who've made bad decisions previous in their lives
Yeah.
to turn around. And I can assure you, any treatment facility you call and
Mm-hmm.
say, I would like to give some time to talk with the women here,
Okay.
they would welcome you. They would welcome you because they have to have stories of success and
Yeah.
people who have, look, we've all been through something.
That's true.
Just if you've been born from a man or a woman, you've been through
And
something in this life. And
then,
so, how did you overcome it? And
mhm.
what can you share with others to help them along the way? That's so
Okay.
important. And
Yes.
the area of substance abuse prevention is an area that's always been on my heart
Yeah.
because I've seen the destruction that
Mhm.
it has created for years in my community and in my own family. I mean, it does not allow men to be men or women to be women.
Right.
It takes the very substance of life. It sucks it out of you.
Yes.
And I just don't play when it comes to drugs. It's nothing to play with. I
Right.
am committed to trying to create a drug-free community. And
Oh.
I don't care how many things they legalize.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
You still have a choice.
That's right. That's right.
And make the better choice
True.
for
That-
yourself, your family, and your community. And realize that they've always done things and brought them into our community to
Mhm.
destroy it. But
True.
we can no longer be willing participants in our own demise. How
And
about that?
stand by and watch it happen. we no longer need to do that. The next question I want to ask is, we experienced the effect of the last 4 years of our current government. What are your thoughts about the racial divide in the
Uh,
world today?
you know, it sometimes seems surreal
Mm-hmm.
that we could watch leadership in this country be so absolutely disengaged
Okay, yeah.
and promoting ideas and thoughts that are
Mm-hmm.
seems archaic. And I know we shake our heads and say, "Is this really happening?" Well, it is happening.
True.
It is happening,
I can't believe.
and we cannot afford 4
Mhm.
more years of this under any circumstances. And whatever it takes, folks, we have got to vote.
Yes.
And that's not enough. Make sure everyone in your house votes. And
Yeah.
then I look in my own community. There are certain neighborhoods that I have got to get some others to go in and speak with these groups of men, usually, who are just hanging on the stump,
Mm-hmm.
passing around a bottle. They
Right.
have the ability to vote, and perhaps they don't even realize that we need them to vote.
That's
But
right.
we have to touch everyone.
That's right.
Everyone in these current circumstances, everyone has to be touched.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, people don't even recognize that if you're in jail, you haven't been convicted. Anyone in jail is sitting there because they haven't been able to raise bail.
Right.
And they can vote. They have not been convicted.
Wow.
People who come out of prison
Mm-hmm.
can also vote in many states.
Yes.
Now, it may not be true everywhere, but I'm hoping with our new uh, government that will come in January,
Oh.
that they will look at the fact that when
Mhm.
people come out of prison, everyone deserves a right to a
Right.
second chance and
Right.
also to be able to vote. We
Yes.
see them toying around like never before with this election process. And I mean, it is despicable.
Yes, it is.
Despicable. And come on, whoever thought the U.S. mail would be used as a weapon
Oh,
against our own people?
never.
Oh, Lord. It is just unfathomable what is occurring.
Mm,
And they do it and they still hold their heads high.
right.
But you know what? Come
Mhm.
November 3rd, they'll be walking around with their tail between their legs because there's some folks getting ready to get out of here.
Right.
Because see, one thing we have to recognize with leadership is that in the case of who occupies the White House, they
Mm-hmm.
get thousands of appointments, thousands of judgeships, and
Mm-hmm.
the Supreme Court. For God's sake, everyone pray that
Ooh,
Ginsburg can hold on,
yeah.
because if we lose her vote, that means this current president, he's
Oh,
already had 2 appointments. We cannot see him with a third.
no.
We
No.
cannot. So, but I mean, the housing secretary, yeah, he appointed quote unquote a black man,
Mm-hmm.
but what has he done? Raise the rent in low income housing? You
Oh,
don't see much housing being built for low income people?
you
It's a
don't.
travesty. It's
It's
absolutely undaunting what the current president is doing.
right.
And I'm just going to do everything I can to make sure that we have leadership. And it's not going to be easy. because the next administration has got to spend as much time undoing
Yes.
some of what's been done,
Right. That's
in
so
addition to trying to propose new legislation. So
right.
it's really a difficult time here in America, but I am hopeful. I will do all I can, and I know your viewers will also, because we have to go up, and we've hit the bottom. Okay,
Right.
and we see what's happening with lack of leadership in terms of this pandemic. Now, I guess the reality of it is, it doesn't. No matter who was in office,
Right.
they were going to have a plan. And what we currently see is there is no plan. It's like 50 states, do
True.
what you want to do. You're on your own. Come
Right.
on. Oh my God, this is
It's a
unbelievable.
travesty. It's just a travesty.
However, I know your listeners are keeping their masks on. When I
Yes.
go outside, when I visit, I keep a mask on. When company
Mhm.
comes, we all wear masks. We try to stay outdoors, um, because the virus is real,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's a very tough time here in the
Mhm.
United States. And
It is.
everyone listening knows someone who's no longer with us
That's
this
true.
March, and
Right.
we just have to be strong
That's
over the
right.
next, whatever it takes to get through this.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's
But
do that.
hands clean, mask on.
Keep them on. Keep them on.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm enjoying the conversation. Even with the voting, I do want the people to know how important it is to get out there and vote, because we have to make this change. I'm thinking of the future of my my children, thinking of the future of my granddaughter that I have, and what kind of world is it going to be if it keep going in the direction that it is going. And another thing, um that I'm concerned about also. Even when we vote a new president in, shouldn't we have the majority of the Senate be Democrat, or the majority be in the House be Democrat? Because if we have those out of balance, there's still like it's a fight up there in the White House,
Well,
or in Congress. It's going to be a fight.
yes. Well, thank God we do have a Democratic House of Representatives. I
Yeah.
mean, had we not been, they would have total
Oh my!
control of
Can
everything.
you imagine?
And so there is some consciousness of those who are part of the House of Representatives,
Mhm.
as they are the majority, the Dems are, and the increasing number of women who are holding office is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Um, but as all of your viewers know, we've lost some giants this
Oh, yes,
past year.
we have.
We've lost some giants,
Yes, we
but
have.
as we all know, we stand on their shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
and there's more greatness to come, and that greatness is with each and every one of your viewers. And
Yeah.
I just pray that their dreams will never subside until
Mm-mm.
they're reached.
It'll keep going. It'll keep going. The dream will keep going through us and through our generation of children, that we don't forget to tell them about what those that are going on have done. We can't let them be forgotten. We got to keep them alive in the hours of our children and our children's children, so we can keep on moving up instead of staying at the standstill and being trampled on. That is so true. So we got to keep them alive. Another question that I have: how can we get away from making government about black versus white and make it about humanity?
Well, let's just say this: we didn't start it.
No, we
We
didn't.
didn't start it. Um, they have used race,
Mm-hmm.
and most recently, they call them dog whistles, things that you hear. Here we have a president saying, look, if you don't elect me, those folks are going to be living in your neighborhood. That is so
Wow.
insane. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact of it is, there are every community around we're in. So
That,
what the heck? I mean, but he has this penchant for
Yeah.
creating angst and
Mm-hmm.
rising hatred and fear mongering. And
Mostly fear
I
too.
just hope that America will truly, Americans will not respond to that nonsense.
Right, right. That's true. I hope so too, because it's right now in the world, it's not gonna go nowhere. But we gotta learn how to live our truth as to who we are and stand together with each other as to who we are, to rise above what we are living in the present right now. We have to, and we have to remain true to who we are and true to our people, right? We're not going to come against nobody else, but we still got to stand together as a group to come above and to come past where we're at in the world today, because we deserve a fair chance too in this world. We deserve.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so thankful for the outpouring
Mm-hmm.
and the increased understanding that people have had
Yes.
pushed on them since the brutal murder of Brother Floyd, George
Yes.
Floyd.
Yes. True.
To see the entire world rise up and
Yeah.
say Black Lives Matter,
Right. It's
they do matter.
a wonderful thing. Yes.
And I believe that hopefully when children return to school,
Mm-hmm.
they will learn beyond enslavement the contributions our people have made to this place called America.
Right. Right.
Because she would not stand today if it were not for Black people.
It wouldn't.
And so I am encouraged. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it will happen overnight, but
No.
I think the consciousness of people who previously had very little understanding, that
Right.
their consciousness has been raised. And
Yeah.
that's a good thing. But now what do you do? What do we do?
Yes.
We
Yes.
have to recognize the fact that white privilege is
Mm-hmm.
real.
Yes, it
You
is.
know, we look and we think, boy, they seem to have everything. Well, they do because they stole it. I mean, they literally have been the recipients
Mm-hmm.
of an America that they designed for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we recognize as people of great faith
Right.
that we are not second to anyone, and
Mm-mm.
that whereas others may have come forth and stolen so much from our people, killed so many of our people, raped so many of our women,
Yes. Yes.
and put hoses and
Hmm.
dogs and so many inhumane things have been put upon our race of people. But
That's
still, we rise.
yes.
Lord knows they've done everything
Yes, they have.
to subdue us as a people. But
Mm-hmm.
still, we're here and we continue to rise. And
Right.
I think that the world would be different for our children
Mm-hmm.
because they will have a greater understanding of
Yeah.
just how strong
Yes.
they are and the legacy from which they've come
Right.
and the enormous strength
Mhm.
of people who have been denied
So
so
much.
much,
Yes.
but we can see our way through.
Mm.
And I'm just very grateful for that. I just see a new day coming. I see a new energy. I
Yeah.
see increased participation. And
Mm-hmm.
I see people standing taller, holding their shoulders back and their heads up, recognizing the greatness that they represent.
Right.
And so, parents, we have a job to do. Um, and let's get busy doing it.
Yes, let's get to work on it. Let's make it happen. Even my sons, they tell me how, back when Martin Luther King was making the change in America, and he said he marched and, we got some changes. He said, but my tell me, generation, mom, we are determined to get change. Because
Yes.
we're not going to just give up. So when the march started, since George Floyd was murdered, so people are still doing that. He said maybe
Yes.
in y'all time when they did it for a while, they'll stop. Said, but it's still going on because we are determined to see change. It says not only just us trying to see change, other races are coming together with us because they have seen the unjust things that have been done to our race. And I say, yeah, you all are determined. And I'm so glad that you all have that determination in you all, because I do believe change is going to come, but it's going to be a slow process. But I still believe it's going to happen. I believe it's going to
It's happening as we speak,
happen.
and it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite positive, and we're going to see more of it.
Yeah.
What we need to do, there are so many books out here that we should be reading. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, speaking of books, if I can show you the book that has had the greatest impact in my life,
Come on,
and
share.
honest to God, I didn't read this book until I was in my 30s. No one ever introduced me to it. No one, no class. I took Black History class. I'd never read The Miseducation of the Negro by
Wow.
Carter G. Woodson. But when I picked that book up and read it,
Uh-huh.
it just opened my mind and my heart
Wow.
to wanting to know
Mm.
a better understanding of how we got the mindset that we have. This didn't just happen. This came as a result of
Mm.
years of miseducation. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when you understand the truth, and your mind will be free. And there's a
Mhm.
lot of freeing of minds going on right now as we speak. But
Yeah.
if I had a book to recommend to the world, for me, it would be Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. And the one story in that book that I love that he shares, and it
Mhm.
goes like this. When a man doesn't have, I'm going to paraphrase it.
Mhm.
He says, when you don't have the correct education,
Uh-huh.
nobody will have to tell you to go to the back of the bus because your miseducation is going to send you there regardless.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
it's so powerful.
Oh
I
my
just love it.
God.
I love it. Wow. It's
Wow. I'm so glad we posted the name of the book on so people can go and get that book. Because we're going to read.
Miseducation of the Negro, written by Carter G. Woodson. And I can tell you that
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
a mind opener. I'm sure many of your viewers have already read it, but guess what? It's time to reread it.
Read.
Because you know what, Pastor? All we have is time right now. If we come out of this virus and you don't have anything in your life that you've changed,
Mhm.
something is wrong.
Something is
Because you have the time now. We always walking around talking about, where'd the time go? Well, guess what? It's not going anywhere
mm,
right now.
got time
But
on.
so it gives us time to read more books. It gives us time to explore. It gives us time to do more than gossip on Facebook.
Yes.
Now this is not gossip what we're talking about,
This is
but we
information.
need to use our time constructively, and
Yes.
we need to use it to the betterment of ourselves, our race, our
Yeah.
people, our community, and this world.
Yeah.
And we've got the time now. Oh my God. Everyone, when this thing is over, we
Mhm.
should all ask ourselves, what did I do
Yes.
for whatever amount of time it takes for this thing to end?
Hmm.
How many additional books have I read? Did
Right.
I how many closets have I cleaned out?
Hmm.
In my own home.
Right.
What are we doing with this time? For God's sake, we've got to use it to
Yeah.
our betterment.
That's right.
Because we always ask ourselves, oh, if I just had time. Well, guess what?
Mhm.
You got it now.
Got it
So
now.
use it and use it effectively and to help someone, and it'll make a difference in all of our
Well,
lives.
it will. So you just answered my next question. My next question were, how can we learn more about the government and where is it easy to understand? So you was telling us what we need to educate ourselves about our history. We need to learn about, getting these books and reading these books to educate ourselves. So right now, we're going to educate ourselves. I'm so glad you shared that book with us. Do you have any more books that you would like to share with us? We need to go out and get these books.
Oh, well, again, that is my absolute favorite. I
Mm-hmm.
love books by James Baldwin, Toni Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
There, it's just something about when I was a little girl. People would tell me, "Oh, when you were a little girl, you just sat on that porch on Pennsylvania. You always had a book in your hand." And
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad. I'm glad I kept a book in my hand because it helped me through life.
Yes.
And there's some great things that are happening. Oh, one thing I saw today
Mm-hmm.
on CBS, I saw that Vanity Fair. Everyone knows the magazine Vanity Fair, but
Mm-hmm.
next month in September, they're devoting the entire issue to Black issues.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
up to strictly Black issues, and on the cover, and
Mm-hmm.
Vanity Fair is pretty huge. On the cover is going to be Breonna Taylor.
Wow.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Awesome. Whoa. Go out,
And
get it, and read it.
yes, I mean, that is going to be a collector's piece. I want to purchase, and I don't even, I'm going to purchase a few
Yes.
and get them to people that I love, and I'm going to sign it because I hope everyone will keep it. Keep it. You know, going back to miseducation of the Negro,
Mm-hmm.
when they had the Million Man March,
Mm-hmm.
and there were hundreds of buses leaving Detroit. I
Yeah.
went and bought a case of those books, a whole case, and I
Wow.
passed them out to every man on the bus that was over near State Fair. And
Mm-hmm.
every person on that bus, I gave a copy of that book to. That's
Mm-hmm.
how much it meant to me. I
Wow.
don't know. I hope they had time to read it on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm glad I did that.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Could you tell us about your organization? Um,
Mac alive.
Live. Yes, that you
Mac
have live.
alive.
Tell us
Well,
about.
anyone who knows me has heard about Mac alive. And
Yeah.
we began because in the community in which I live,
Mm-hmm.
at one point, they proclaimed the city leaders and that this community was the worst in the entire area of the city of Detroit. The
Wow.
area between St. Jean
Mm.
and Fisher, Mack, and Jefferson. They said there was no area in need of more help than that area. Well, I live in the middle of that area on Pennsylvania Street. I
Mm-hmm.
went to high school at Southeastern. It was just in that area. And
Uh,
so, you wonder, I asked myself, how did my neighborhood become the armpit of the city of Detroit?
okay.
How? And so, but
Yeah.
life reveals itself, Pastor,
Yeah.
because the reality of it is they may have written that 40 years, 30 years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe they knew that one day houses over in this area would be going for $150,000. Do you think so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe they knew that there would be opportunities here that move them out so
Yeah.
that we won't have access to those opportunities.
Right.
Because,
Right.
we're always chasing a dream,
Mm-hmm.
but thank God for those who stuck and stayed.
Mm.
Um, it's just, it's like people think that they have reason to believe everything they read in the press. I mean, if you saw an article like that and it said that this was the worst area in the city of Detroit, someone probably picked up and left and said, I've got to do better for my children. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we all want the best for our children.
We do.
But there are things that occur, and there are people who plan. I've learned there are people who plan,
Mm-hmm.
what they say, 7 generations away.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes we can barely plan for ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
have to do better.
Yes,
We
we do.
have to do better. But I understand that our people sometimes are extremely stressed.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to find ways to adapt. We have to find
Mm-hmm.
ways to become energized. We have
Yeah.
to speak truth to power
That's right.
and recognize that every day we wake up is
Mm-hmm.
another chance for that miracle to
Yeah.
make something happen in our lives and
Mm-hmm.
not to be discouraged because we we can do this.
Yes, we can.
We can absolutely do this, and we are obligated to do it.
True.
When you think of all the folks who sacrificed and gave their lives so that you and I and all of the viewers can have a better life.
That's so
And
true.
I am forever committed. I
Mm-hmm.
have more energy than I've ever had before. I ride my bike sometimes 15 miles a day,
Wow.
and I'm loving every moment of it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just excited about this thing called life. I
Mm-hmm.
pray that all of your viewers are also excited about life
Yeah.
and finding ways that we can come together and
Mm-hmm.
show our children just how wonderful and how powerful
We
they
can.
have been endowed with from our
Yes.
ancestors.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we are mighty, mighty people. There's no question in my mind.
Yes.
And, there are those who will say, well, I'm not religious or I don't believe. Well, that's one
Mhm.
thing about this country. You're free to believe
What
as you
you
choose.
want to
But
believe.
as for me and my house, we
Yes.
gonna serve the Lord, okay?
Right.
Because I know what's happened in my own life. I know what He's done for me.
Yeah.
And some people try to say, "Oh, that's someone else's religion."
Mm-hmm.
Brother, sister, you can believe what you want.
Mm-hmm.
As for me and my house,
Oh
we're
yes.
going to serve Him to the day we die.
We are.
Because in serving Him, we are empowered. We
Yes.
are able to do beyond what we ever could expect.
Yes.
And I can think of ways that I have been protected
Mm-hmm.
that only He could have done it.
Right.
Only a God could have protected me when
Right.
I didn't see it coming myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy about it, Pastor.
Yes.
I feel good about it.
Me too. I have a viewer asking, what does Mac Life offer?
Oh, Mac Alive is a community-based organization, a resource center,
Yes.
and
Okay.
we offer food twice a month. Like yesterday, we served over 200 people
Wow.
with food, and we offer senior baskets of food once a month. We
Mm-hmm.
have a art program that most people would not even imagine was in a community organization, a small community-based organization like ours, with art by African American artists who have honed their skills.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I just absolutely love it. We offer tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
We have computer use for families.
Great.
Right now, this COVID-19 has put the brakes on a lot of things, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm pleased to say that my sister, Artina Hartman, runs Mac Alive, and she's there every day, Monday through Friday, just to let people know we're
Yeah.
here to help.
Wow.
And we did COVID-19 testing.
Mm-hmm.
We have, right now, we have a project where we're going to help 100, I think 125 young ladies with children,
Okay.
and we're going to have gift baskets for them and a gift certificate. Yes, we are, for every 125 young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're very serious about sticking and staying in the lives of our people and creating opportunities, because if you don't know, if Mac Alive knows it, you're going to know it. And
Wow.
I want to tell you about a young man who is from our neighborhood who served 20 years in the penal system. 20 years. Went
Mm-hmm.
away when he was 18.
Wow.
He came back up to Mac Alive about
Mm-hmm.
2 years. I mean, he lives right here in my neighborhood. He was 18. I was in my 30s, but I knew this young man. And
Mm-hmm.
when he came back, he started coming to Mac Alive.
Mm-hmm.
And you, anything you needed him to do,
Wow.
pass out groceries, help with cleaning, whatever it was he wanted to help.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God for this young man.
Mm-hmm.
He started working, thank God. I don't know if he's watching.
Wow.
He's working now full
Mhm.
time, and
Wow.
at an automobile company. And
Mhm.
I'm just so thankful that we could be there for him and
Wow.
others who are in need. We don't turn anyone away. We
That's
see
great.
it
Great.
all. And
That's
we're
great.
just thankful that we can be there. This
Mhm.
place where we are formerly belonged to my grandfather and a few other men, about 5 other men, had a club back in the 50s called the Briggs World Aces. And this was a club where men who worked in
Mhm.
the plant would come there and socialize. Black men would come there to socialize. So
Wow.
that's where they had their wedding receptions and sweet 16 parties and
Yes.
sat around and told how big what a fish they caught.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a wonderful place. And after my grandfather, many of the men died, and it fell on disarray, we decided we're going to put this back together and keep our grandfather's dream alive of serving our community. And our doors, we've got a beautiful building, absolutely gorgeous. And it's because of the McDuffie heritage, of which some of my relatives, whom you know, Sharita, Sharon, and Travella, and others, we're all a part of that McDuffie heritage.
Beautiful.
And that building today is open for the community. And I'll tell you, just like you, and just like your listeners, and just like for me, our best days are ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I repeat, our best days are ahead. We ain't seen nothing yet.
No.
God has in store for all of us.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I'm excited about it.
Me too.
I'm so thankful that you had me on, and I love your spirit.
And
I just really ask everyone to recognize that it's on us now.
It's on us.
You know? I look around, Tammy, and I know that hours going nigh. Years ago, I couldn't believe it. For the past 10 years, I've been the oldest person on my block, the most senior person, shall we say, the most seasoned person.
Yes.
And when I realized that, I was like, what? The senior person on the block. But you know what? With that comes responsibility. Responsibility to help wherever I can, to bring forth resources, to let other folks know who may not know exactly where to go and how to get it.
That's right. Wow. You really have blessed my heart tonight. All I'm doing is just smiling and nodding my head. Yes, yes, yes. I am so sure my viewers have enjoyed, your friends and family have enjoyed hearing you tonight, because I have enjoyed you. You have shared some great things with us on tonight. I appreciate you taking our time out of your busy schedule to help a little old person like me to come on and share your information and to share with our viewers what is important and what was important to you as you was in office, and things that are still important to you to this day, because it didn't stop, and that you found out what you wanted to do at a young, tender age, and you stuck with it and made it happen. A lot of our viewers needed to know that, because a lot of our young girls and young men, they have dreams of what they want to do, and they get deterred a little bit and don't know how to come back to it. But it was so good to hear tonight that you said, I remembered what I had said I wanted to be. And so I went to work at it. And I know there's a lot of people that are here listening tonight. You got to remember what you said you was going to do and go back to it and make it happen. Because here's a young lady that are here tonight with so much knowledge and was sharing with us on tonight, letting us know that, hey, I came back to the dream, and now I'm helping other people see their dreams and go in the direction that they're supposed to go in, not in a direction that the enemy or somebody tried to take them in. I deterred them back on track. I thank you for that.
And I thank you. And I want to thank you because this is the first time since March that I done put on some lipstick.
And you look beautiful. Yes, you do.
Yes, Lord. I said, ooh, what is this lipstick?
Thank you so much. You are such a beautiful woman, and I thank you for being in my life today.
Well, I have a feeling this relationship is just starting.
Yes, that's
and
right.
I'm encouraged, and this show is going to make me dig deeper and work harder to create the world for our children that it should be.
Yes, yes, yes. And you making me so interested in getting into politics, because I have been interested in it. These last 4 years, I've been digging into it.
Yeah. I tell everyone it's public service. It's about public service.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to get to work at it. I'm doing a little bit of it right now, being on the Tammy Talk Show, bringing people in to share and to help the audience, because my main thing that I like to say is we all need to know. That's what I would say all the time. We all need to know. In order to get the information, you got to bring somebody that is knowledgeable of the information so you can get to know. Again, I want to thank you for being with us on tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to get you back real soon.
Absolutely. We're going to be celebrating that victory.
Yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go live with that.
Yes.
And thank you so much. I'm going to let you go because I can hold you here all night because I'm just enjoying hearing what you are pouring into us. I thank you so much, and I love you for taking out your time to be with us. I'm sure my audience have enjoyed you. I see all them hands up and all them claps and all the great remarks. We love you. And we
thank you.
So
and I want to thank my daughter Carla and my son-in-law Todd and my only grandson, Sir Richard Smith. Thank them. I want to thank my daughter. She said, "Mama," because she said, "Mama, put on something with some sleeves on it. You're going to be talking to a pastor."
No, right. When I get on the talk show, I tell everybody, I'm Tammy on the talk show, okay? But thank you for the respect. I really love that, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Until
thank you, and thank you everyone for listening in. God bless you. Let's go do this.
Let's do this. Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. Yes, we can.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.